All right, we are gonna thread the serger. It may be big and scary, but it doesn't have to be. First thing you have to do is, this is the thread tree. It's the tree stand, and it holds your thread up in the air. You want it to stand all the way up. You have your on and off switch right here. When you turn it all the way on, should have a light that comes on for you. This bottom part opens up. It is the knife guard casing. You put your thumb in this hole, pull out, and then it will fold down, and it shows you all your bottom looper stuff. It's crazy, I know, but the best thing is, right here on this plate is a picture of exactly how you're gonna thread it. So if you get lost, if you aren't quite sure where to go next, follow that little picture. Also, if you push this button right here, it'll pop this side out so you can see on this side as well. All right, this tells us that we start, number one, we start with the blue one. It's actually the second one over. You want to make sure that the thread comes up from this first spool, up and over. And also the machine, and most of it has all the colors still on it. Follow the colored dots. They're all on here. It's color coded. It's really easy to follow. First thing you want to do is, this is your thread guide plate all the way across. You slide it in there once, twice, so that it loops around. We're going to keep following our blue dots, and we hook it there, and then we're going to go on our tension knob. Now our tension knob should not be messed with. Don't mess with it, but you want to make sure that the thread gets caught in it. So hold your thread on both sides and make sure that you pull it up in there so it does get caught in the tension. Keep going down, following your blue circles, and then you get down in here where it is a little bit harder to see. The first blue is the coil in the back. You want it to hook in there, and then it's this second coil right here, and then we're going to go straight up, hook on this last blue coil, and then the last thing we do is, from the coil we go out to the arm and through the hole on the end of the arm. Well, it's kind of like a finger. We'll go right through that hole and put it through. Then pull it all the way through. We have these special serger tweezers. They kind of look like operating tweezers, I know, but they are helpful, and they are over in the sewing equipment drawers. All right, next we're gonna do the red one. That's number 2. We're gonna come down on the thread guide plate again, come down and around 2 times, keep following the red guides. Make sure you get it in the tension dial. Make sure you hold both sides and pull it up. Here's one more red. And this is actually the tricky one on the bottom, but believe me, you can do it. Okay, keep following the red. It's this first one here. Then we've got red coils. And you really don't have to take the end and push it through the coils. If you wrap it down and around, it goes through the center of the coils. Then we want to make sure it goes through this coil, and we have to come over to this other side, so you may want to take the end, push it all the way through, grab it with your hand on the other side, and then just pull it and make sure it goes up through that coil. So now it's through. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to turn this all the way. Can you see the elbow? Right here, this is our little elbow. We need this thread that we just had to come up behind the elbow. There's this little slit. We're going to go through the slit, and then we want the thread to go in front of the arm. So we're going to make sure it goes back to the other side. This is the same arm that we just put it on the elbow. It's going to come in this groove, is where our thread is going to go. As we pull our thread back through, it'll line up right in the groove and through the hole. Just like that. And we want to make sure that our thread is actually in the back. So we'll just pull it through like that. Okay, we can actually close that if you want to kind of keep it out of the way. Remember, this is the blade. Please be careful. When this is open, the machine will not sew, so you should not be able to cut your finger at all. Go ahead and close the blade cover, and we're gonna do the next one over, which is green. Make sure it's coming through the thread tree nicely. We're gonna go through the thread slot, or the thread guide. Hook on the tension dial, making sure it's pulling nice. Now you have a green right here, and this one is yellow and green, so they're both gonna go up right here underneath this one. And this bottom one is supposed to be green. I know it's not there, but guess what? The top one's yellow, so obviously the bottom one's green. We're gonna keep it on there. And notice this dial is on the right-hand side, so we're gonna stay on the right-hand side. We're gonna go through the right-hand side guide as we go up. We're gonna stay on the right, go through this right coil, and then we're gonna go through the right needle. I'm gonna leave it right here and go through both needles at the same time. Now I'm gonna do my yellow, go through the thread guide plate, go through my tension dial. I'm gonna go through this yellow one, and then the top one is yellow. Remember, the tension dial is on the left, so I'm going to stay on the left, go through the left coils, and now I'm ready to go through both needles. Just gonna trim my thread so that I have a nice even thread. Keep my right on the right, and I'm just gonna go through, make sure you can see okay. I'm gonna go through my right needle with my little Serger scissor or tweezers, pull it through, and go through my left. Pull it all the way through. Make sure all your threads are pulled back here and out of the way. Make sure your presser foot is down, and then go ahead and try a scrap fabric. Hold right there and we will try it. Keep taking. Just make sure that you always have a scrap fabric so that you can try a piece. Your foot pedal should be out. Make sure you do put your presser foot down. We're just gonna try a little bit on this end. Remember, the knife will cut it. We're just gonna work our way off. Always remember when you're serging that you should leave a 3 to 4 inch tail. Leave the tail all the way to the end of the serger, and then cut close to your fabric. Don't cut close to the presser foot. That makes all the threads come back in and cause a problem and unthread. And there's our serging. It looks great, and everybody will need to pass this off.